Ever since I was a child, I really wanted to go to MIT, and from the last video that you've seen of me, I'm not at MIT, but I am at IIT. I was really naive. Let me explain. When I was in high school, I got burnt out. My teachers were forcing me to pursue excellence at school so that I could get scholarships from my country, so that my teachers could put themselves on a higher pedestal so that we could get more business. I felt forced to study and I couldn't care about what I was learning anymore. I felt like I was satisfying other people's meaning of happiness. And what led to that was me wanting to get money instead of me wanting to be happy in the future. And this led me to take the decision to want to become an electrical engineer in college. I had no passion in anything, and all I was doing in 2014 was studying. As I was applying for college, my advisor recommended me to figure out what my passion was so that I could sound more genuine in my university application and so that I would sound more interesting as a person. Logically, I wanted universities to think that I was born an electrical engineer and that I was fit to become the best electrical engineer at the school. So I started a project called the Drone Project, where my friends and I would build a drone without any experience, without any background knowledge on drones, and with only our parents' money and with zero time. I also applied to 9 schools: MIT, Princeton, Georgia Tech, University of Michigan at Ann Arbor, Trinity College, University of Notre Dame, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Illinois Tech, and Albion College. 7 of them were mainly based on what would people think of me when I get into these colleges. They were mainly based on ego. 2 of them, mainly Illinois Tech and Albion College, were based on safety, where if I didn't get into the 7 ego choices, I would at least land into one of those 2. The drone was built up to 80%, but I ended up giving up because I was burnt out again. I included in my university applications that I was still working on it, but I didn't feel that it was right to keep going ahead. I had to go to the clinic at one point because I was feeling so confused and so stressed out to not disappoint the expectations that my teachers had set on me. By that time, MIT had sent out their second essay to complete so that we could give an update to them before the results would be announced on Pi Day. I couldn't care enough, so much so that I sent a random essay including a lot of stuff that meant nothing overall. I also got an interview from Princeton. I didn't prepare enough for it, and the whole interview went really bad. I sounded really unconfident and I couldn't speak proper English. Somewhat though, I kind of thought that I could get in. After a while, I got my high school results and I did pretty well, and I ended up disappointing all of my teachers. However, I couldn't care less. My dad gave me a GoPro as a gift because he was so proud of my performance. I started using the GoPro to film myself, and I would use GoPro Studio to start editing. That's how I learned to edit. After a while, I wanted to edit quicker and do greater things, so I downloaded a pirated version of Adobe Premiere Pro. I found out that editing was really easy and I completely fell in love with it. As I fell in love with movie making, I started talking about it to everyone, and soon enough my advisor started asking me to make a few short videos for him so that he could run ads on Facebook for his company. It was my first job and I didn't even realize that it was my job. I was doing it for free, and one day I got my first salary. That was a very special moment in my life. By then I had realized that my real passion was not to become an engineer, but it was to be creative, to make movies and to use my imagination. I love filmmaking and I felt like I wanted to learn more. I felt like I wanted to work with people, and I felt like I wanted to learn by myself. By that time I had realized that I wanted to take a gap year. Instead of going to college in 2016, I wanted to go to college in 2017. I wanted to start my university application from scratch because I had realized that if I were to be sincere in my university applications, I would increase my chances of getting a better scholarship. And I could study something that I really wanted to study. I was feeling really great. Unfortunately, I did not have that luxury to take the gap year. My parents were waiting on me to go to college so that they could be reunited, as my dad went to work abroad and he was visiting home only every 2 to 3 months. And I also felt like it would be a waste of time anyways, as I could figure out my way at MIT. Soon the school responses started to come in, and the first two were Illinois Tech and Albion College, my safety choices. I got a scholarship from both of them. They were partial scholarships, but I threw the application form to the side. I knew for a fact that I would never go to any of those two schools. As other replies came through, I got into University of Michigan and Trinity College, and I got zero scholarship from either because I'm an international student and I didn't qualify for need-based scholarships. Other schools like Georgia Tech and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute rejected me. Georgia Tech wished me good luck on my future endeavors, and Rensselaer simply rejected me because I failed to provide them the form of my parents' financial statements. But none of the replies that I got really mattered until Pi Day came. Pi Day is the 14th of March, and it's the day when MIT announces the upcoming freshman list. I was heartbroken. I felt like my fake enthusiasm for becoming an engineer combined with the drone project and the fiasco that was the second essay made me throw my own chances out of a window. I was nailed further down the coffin when I got the responses from Notre Dame and Princeton. I got rejected from both of them. I went into a limbo for quite a while after that. By the end, I was left with only 4 choices: Albion College, Illinois Tech, University of Michigan, and Trinity College. I begged the University of Michigan and Trinity to give me a scholarship, but I was naive. Universities don't give away scholarships like that. I sent a few emails, I contacted several officers, and obviously I did not get any responses back. I was left with a partial scholarship from Illinois Tech and Albion College. I talked to a student at Albion and his response really turned me off. I had to sell my soul to IIT at the end. Suddenly, I felt lost. I reached out to a few groups at IIT on Facebook and I asked them whether they had any creative groups or any creative classes or any creative minors that I could apply for. I got a few replies, some of which were between the lines of just come to Chicago and see what's up because there's so many things that are going on here, and at that time I just took their word for it. At the same time, my parents were pushing me to take an offer because the deadlines were approaching, and I just closed my eyes and agreed to it. I was really scared to take the plane. I was really scared to leave Mauritius, to come to the USA, to do something that I knew I didn't want to do. The big question is, do I feel any regret? And the answer is no. I've learned so much here, and my main thing is to work forward and not look backwards, which is why the Flower Dog Project exists. If you want to support the Flower Dog Project, please share this video with a friend that's applying for college right now. Please share this video with friends that have recently taken the SAT in June and which got severely screwed by College Board, or simply subscribe. And I'll see you next week.